Hello, welcome. Today I have my friend Raj Patel.
Hey,
Raj, how you doing?
good. How are you doing, Bob?
Good, good, thank you. Raj is currently works in Uline in Allentown, and he's a Temple University in Philadelphia graduate. He's a data analyst in Uline. And we first connected in pharmacy, being a technician, both of us. And
Yeah.
from what I know, Raj is still carrying that focus and determination to his current role as an analyst and overall. And I know on the side, Raj does fantasy
Yes.
football. He has a successful YouTube channel called the DFS Process, if
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, so check him out.
Thank you.
Welcome, Raj.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Bob. Really appreciate it. It's good to catch up with you again. It's been
Yeah.
been a minute, but
Yeah, always, man. We're always connecting about sports and especially I know I kept pushing you to watch UFC.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you've been. I know you got into that, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you were exposed to that. So we'll get into that. I want to ask you first, just to go way back, because I don't know, like your background, pretty much, and just us being from an immigrant family,
Right.
just growing up, how was it? How was your childhood? Just if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
talk about that.
sure. So I definitely think that immigrant parents are a lot different than people that are born in America. But growing up, my parents, they both came from India, so they kind of came here with nothing, and then had to build their way up and raise me and my two sisters. So it kind of instilled in us a lot of hard work. You have to basically save, and it kind of helped us and advised us to save every dollar, keep pushing, don't spend on unnecessary things.
Right.
And I'm kind of keep that same values in myself right now. Just I'm thankful for what they kind of instilled in me by just teaching me those values. And I know immigrant parents, they are a little bit stricter, I think.
Yes.
Just because they
Which is a good thing, I
it's
think.
definitely
Yeah.
is. Just
Yeah.
because they know what struggle looks like. I
Yeah.
mean, in our perspective, we kind of had it a little bit easier, a lot easier, just
You're
kind
right.
of with what they gave us. But it definitely was an interesting experience.
Yeah, immigrant parents, they're hard workers, and
For
they,
sure.
they try to make our lives easier as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But along the way, they try to teach their way of struggle, like
Right.
how they struggled. It's not easy coming to a different country and building from zero.
Yeah, not knowing the language,
Yes.
not knowing the culture, anything. So
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Your parents, for those who don't know, can you tell them where they moved from and what was like their
Yep.
process?
So my mom, she came a lot earlier than my dad. She came when she was 13.
Okay.
She
Can you
came-
pull
oh,
the mic closer to you? Okay.
Yeah. So she came when she was a teenager, 13. She has a sister who's 2 years older, so they kind of went to school together. But so kind of growing up with that, she was saying how it was a struggle not knowing the language, being in a school with people that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
But then when she got in her early 20s, she went back to India to try to find a husband. And then that's when she met my dad there. And then they both came together. So my dad came when he was 25.
Okay.
And he had it a lot tougher because my mom was here for a decade or so. So she kind of picked up on some things. And
What year was that? It was like back in 70s, right? I think.
yeah, so like 80s, I think.
80s?
Early 80s, yes.
Okay.
For my dad, my mom was 70s.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone's life journey is different, and
Yeah.
it's good to hear your side of
Yeah.
it.
It's a
And you and your sister were born here, grew up
Yep.
here. Okay.
Yeah, we both grew up in like Doylestown area, the Bucks
Okay.
County, so
Yeah.
like suburbs of Philadelphia
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
whole life. So
Yeah.
we didn't have to move a lot or move it really anywhere. So
Yeah. Doylestown is great. That's where I grew up. Also. It's,
nice.
Yeah. It's nice, quiet town. Great
Historical.
people. Historical.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And just about your. I want to get your side of the story of living with like in our culture we live multi-generational.
Yes.
To give you just an example, I want to see if your Indian culture is similar to Tajik slash Uzbek culture.
Yes.
So we, if you are the youngest kid, let's say youngest son,
Right.
or only son, it's a tradition to take care of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And if your grandparents are still alive, so your parents slash you will be taking care of them.
Yeah.
So instead of moving out of the house, having your own mortgage or apartment, we pull every income together and live in a household. And surprising, when Americans say, "Oh, look at this guys," they're living in a big house or whatever, and it's because we pull income together,
Right.
and that's how we can afford a bigger house, bigger mortgage.
No reason to split it like 3-4 ways.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So I want to get your side of it, see if it's similar in a way, or how maybe it's slightly different in some ways.
It's slightly different, but it's actually a lot similar. I didn't know that Uzbek culture was like that too originally, but in Indian culture, usually the son it's not really based on if it's the youngest, or could be the middle son, or could be the oldest son, but
Okay.
one of them usually will take on having the parents with them and raising them. I mean, not raising them, but keeping them in their household and taking care of them. So for my dad is taking care of his parents right now. So we all live together right now in Center Valley, and then I have 2 sisters. So once my parents get older, they're struggle to take care of for themselves, and they'll move in with a house that I get.
Oh, okay. All right. So just to connect with that, same. It doesn't have to be the youngest son, but let's say if the parents decide, if they have 3 sons, they can decide to say, I'm going to live with my eldest one, or the middle one, or the last one. They get to say. So that's similar. It's not like a must thing. But I mean, in every cultures, which is a sad thing, kids don't get along with parents, and they end up moving out. Maybe it's like their marriage, they don't want to break up the marriage, so they move out with their wife or fiance, whatever.
Like nowadays, everybody wants privacy and just kind of wants to. They don't want somebody watching over them, and so even in our culture now, it's changing a little bit. So, like my parents, say that they might not want to live with us, or me until they get to a point where they can't take care for themselves. But while they're in their 60s, maybe early 70s, they might live separately. Just because they kind of saw, and with their friends and other generations, of how that can kind of take an effect and kind of break a relationship. Like you don't get along, and then you probably lose some love by living together. So.
Yeah, if it leads to that. But overall, I would say most of the time in our culture, 80% or more successfully multi-generationals live together. Because what we are taught is, let's say, if I get older, and if I on my 80s, hopefully get to 80s, 90s, I want my kids to take care of me instead of me being in a elderly home or something like that, just being sad or but like you mentioned, privacy plays a big role, but privacy is only the con, pros and cons. Only the con is the privacy, but I feel like the rest of the things is a pro. I have 2 kids, young ones, and I get to have my mom, and when my dad is at home, have watch over them, so we don't we have someone to babysit them, so maybe if we have a time to go out and whatever, and then
your kids will be a lot closer to their grandparents than a lot of other people that live separately. So it's another big win. Yeah,
so my parents, they love. It's a different feeling to have grandchildren, based on what my parents say. So they love spending time with my kids. It's It's a different
Nice.
feeling, they say. It's a kid of my kid.
Yeah, my grandparents live with us too, so and they grew up with
Okay.
us, so I'm like super close to them
Oh,
too.
okay.
So
Yeah, you guys. So your grandparents and parents
Yeah.
in a household. Okay, that's good. That's impressive. My grandparents, they are away in Uzbekistan, so they live there. But yeah, they live with my uncle and his side of the family. But eventually, we call them for like
Yeah.
with the guest visa and stuff. They come visit us for a couple of months and leave.
have you been there recently to visit them?
2021, so that's like 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, I was there, but planning to visit again this summer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a while, so yeah, it's just go see some relatives. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Exciting.
yeah, and yeah, interesting. It's interesting how our cultures connect.
Yeah.
Raj, I want to talk about the fantasy part, how you do fantasy sports, and honestly, I used to go through like news and stuff just through online. I never was into fantasy sports.
Yeah.
And when we were working, you got me into it. I did it a little bit, but now with all the work and stuff, I kind of faded away because it's really hard to keep track.
Yeah, you have to be on your phone like right when the games start because people get ruled out last second. So
they get injured, so you got to change your roster and stuff. I want to get your side of the story, how you got into it and how you were running your channel and your side hobby.
Yeah, so basically, and I was a senior in high school. It's like right when I turned 18. A lot of like my friends in high school, we're all big sports fans, so we kind of bonded over that. And then there was at that time, so this was like 2017, 2018, like nonstop you see commercials on like DraftKings and FanDuel for fantasy. So I'm like, might as well check it out. So I checked it out on DraftKings first, and then it's pretty simple it's pretty like intuitive. It's not a ton of thought that goes into it. Initially, just you pick 8 players for basketball, fill out a lineup, and then you just wait for that night's game. So I like the fact that you didn't have to wait like a whole week or a whole season like other fantasy. It's like a daily fantasy. So every day, in case your player gets injured or you don't have a good luck, you can get right back at it the next day. So
oh wow,
that was the exciting part. Just every day it's a new day.
Yeah, because legally you're not allowed to place bets when you're young. I think you have to be like 21 in some states.
So that's the one thing that was different with fantasy sports. You could do it when you're 18.
Right.
Because it was technically they're fighting it like as a skill based instead of actual gambling, which is just by chance. But
yeah,
I think it's like it goes both ways. Like there's definitely chance involved with it. Like you can't. If your player gets injured and you lose, then it's not, you can't predict that.
It's a bad luck when those injuries happen. But I feel like if you know the sport well, if you follow it, which I think you do, and most of the time in basketball and NFL, I think they can work out well, right?
You can. Okay. Yeah. Like if you follow the sport, you know the players, you definitely have an advantage over like the casual.
Okay.
But then like ever since the sports books became legal in states, I feel like daily fantasy's kind of been going down because not many people are playing that, and the ones that are like the people that actually know the sport a lot. And today with like AI and everything, everybody's just clicking buttons and getting like the lineups are building themselves. People aren't really thinking for themselves now.
Wow,
so
there's that part now. Yeah, I got out of it before the AI, I don't know how it's going with AI.
It's
a lot of people.
You have a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people with like the similar lineups. So a lot of people, because there's a lot of websites that you can just hit a button and it optimizes the lineup. So they just hit the button, optimizes it, maybe make a few changes, and then that's it. Like they don't have to really think about it. Like back when they did when it started. So.
Oh wow, wow. If it's funny how AI is like getting into everything, as much field as possible. Yeah. And if you don't mind sharing, what was your biggest win from the fantasy?
So, like, and when I was in like 18 or 19, I hit one for 40K, which was at that time it was like insane to me. I'm like, I can do this for the rest of my life.
18-year-old, 19-year-old hitting a jackpot,
and it was off like a $20 bet, so it was.
Okay. From 20 to 40.
Yeah, and I was like, that helped me in in college, I pay for the couple semesters.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
Temple, so it was positive. But then, like ever since that win, you kind of get sucked in a little bit more. Like, maybe you start placing bigger bets when you shouldn't. So
Yeah, but I don't think that was the case with you.
No.
You were always, from what I know, you were doing healthy fantasy.
yeah, I would like
Not
make
overbetting.
sure I manage how much I'm putting in. Like usually stick to $20 to $50 bets, nothing more unless it's
Yeah,
like the Super Bowl or something. You can put a little bit more, like a big event.
yeah,
But for the most part, and that's like one of the things nowadays. It's such a danger.
yeah.
If people are like losing their life savings on
Oh wow.
because they can't control it. But
Yeah, that's
scary.
not good. That similar. When I was doing it, I used to do like $1, $2, $3. I think my max was like $5. I wasn't planning on getting into it. Also, I was kind of learning it, and just from work and multiple stuff that I'm doing now. I kind of faded away from it. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, like now I'm not doing as much fantasy making lineups. Now I'm kind of doing more like actual sports books, like maybe putting bets on teams to win a game, or like UFC fights. Put a bet on a little parlay on that. So.
Oh yeah, since you're now past 21, yeah, so you're doing that. But again, you're doing it healthy, not crazy amounts.
Yeah, that's like that's if anybody's that's thinking out there about maybe dabbling in fantasy or gambling, it's make sure you set limits for yourself because it can get bad.
On fantasy, can you talk about what sports you mainly focus on?
So in the beginning, I was doing pretty much all of them, like basketball, baseball, football, even like golf and MMA.
Oh, you were doing golf too?
Yeah, so this was kind of also back like during COVID. Like UFC was the first sport back, so that's why I kind of got into it.
You and I mean, all of us had more time back then during COVID, so you had more time to go into multiple sports, explore fantasy more. Okay.
I was kind of just like bored of waiting. I was waiting for a sport to be back, so like UFC was like one of the first ones, and then I know a lot of like esports was also available, so that was also something I did a little bit, which is crazy now thinking back at it. But
oh wow, yeah. It's your journey, Yeah, which is good. What were your parents thinking when you won big?
They were like definitely shocked, but they kind of they were like, make sure you save it. Kind of telling me like, just don't start betting more than you should and stuff like that. So make sure you stick to your limits. And then
how was that amount, the big amount? How was it to like putting it into your bank account? Like, was it an easy process, or it took some checking from bank to bank?
No, it was a pretty smooth process. Like you can withdraw it via like PayPal if you want to, but then that can also mess up your taxes a little bit, because like DraftKings thinks you won, which you did. You won 40, and then you withdraw it to PayPal, and then it's like, oh, you got another 40 going to your PayPal. So then that's like one year, right? Like taxes, you gotta kind of make sure you note that, but. You can just withdraw it right to your bank account.
Yeah, do like ACH they call it, right?
Yeah, so it takes maybe 1 to 3 days, but it's pretty smooth.
As long as they didn't give you like, how sometimes like they make you send your ID or scan it on your phone or whatever. Hopefully it didn't lead to that.
No. Yeah, they at least DraftKings, they kind of made you verify your identity when you make the account. So I know, because like some people they have multiple accounts. So they're trying to stop people from having, because you're only supposed to have one account, so it's trying to stop people from doing that. So they make you send in your ID and verify your identity before you start playing.
Based on, I mean, you're the stats guy for sports. Based on your knowledge, what do you think is the biggest sport right now in America?
Definitely football, I would say.
NFL, right?
Yeah, NFL. They have the biggest, if you're doing like daily lineups, they have the biggest tournaments. They have like every week they would do like $1 million contests on DraftKings.
Right, I remember. Yeah.
They're still doing that. I know with like sports books, other contests, other sports like NBA and baseball, their prize pools have kind of shrunk. But football is still, anytime that comes, like you see huge tournaments. So that's like the one that nowadays I'm kind of focused on, football. Don't have as much time to kind of research basketball and baseball every day. So
right.
On my YouTube channel, I just kind of will wait for football season now and then start making posting my picks on there.
For the okay. You touched on your YouTube channel, the DFS Process. I wanted to get your side of it. How was it first? Like when you decided to create a YouTube channel, how was it and how did it grow? I think from my point of view, I think you're running a successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've been successful in the aspects that it has like subscribers. So it's like 25K, I think, right now.
Yeah.
And then it kind of ebbs and flows. Like during football season, you'll get a lot of views on your videos. And then during other sports, we get a little bit less, but it was something that I really enjoyed doing during college. And then like right out of high school, it was fun. And then now working like full time, it's a little bit tougher to find the time to make videos, but I still definitely want to get back to it for football. And then if I have time, do it for other sports, but mainly focus on, at least for NFL, have videos on there.
Yeah, I had a feeling that the NFL was the biggest sport. I just wanted to get your side of it, because right now mainly when the NFL season's on, that's what I'm concentrated on. Watching, especially now our beloved Eagles are holding champions.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like twice in 8 years now after not winning before. So
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Everyone doubted.
Jalen,
and the whole management, the year before, we were worried that the main coach Sirianni would be fired and all that, but they ended up sticking together. And
it worked out. Like even this past year, when they were 2-2, there was talks of like firing Sirianni. So
in the beginning, right? It was
They were 2-2, and then they only lost, I think, one game the rest of the way. So
it's
crazy.
Wow. The final was magical. Wasn't expecting that.
No, blowout. I thought KC would definitely keep it closer, but Eagles pass rush was all over Mahomes.
I'm not sure what ended up happening to Kansas City, but
it was crazy to see. But I'm glad. It was fun to see as an Eagles fan. Watch Mahomes struggle. Yeah,
Mahomes struggle. It was just overall, just watching the game, a lot of memes came out how Kansas City fans crying, the players crying. I mean, you kind of feel bad for them, but they won two in a row years before. So come on, give us a slack. Let us win one.
Right, yeah. It's time for a new team to win. So
yeah, of course. No one wants to see the three-peat, you know.
Next year, I mean, on the AFC side, rooting for the Bills, I would say. Josh Allen is...
I know, man. Bills. I was watching that documentary, Fall of...
It's on Netflix?
Yeah. No. I guess so. Something Four Falls, I think it's called. Have you seen that? Maybe it's on ESPN or whatever.
I haven't seen it, but...
It's called Four Falls of Buffalo. I think that's what it's called. Remember how they lost, 4 finals in a row?
Yeah.
They have a documentary about that, so I ended up watching that. Yeah, it's funny how there was like a slight inch stuff always, the missed the kick, or the next one is just the last play. Is you feel bad for that. Imagine that happened to your team.
Their fans are they've been struggling for a bit. So.
I'm glad they had a downtime after that. After those 4 finals, they had a down. Really, like the franchise wasn't good. But now, since Josh Allen and the management, they picked back up. I think they're getting close.
Yeah, I feel like if the Chiefs weren't what they were, like Buffalo would definitely have a couple Super Bowls at this point.
Yeah,
like the Chiefs were the
at least the final,
Yeah, at least make it to the final.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I don't mind if they end up winning it.
No.
Their fan base is really passionate. It's about time they get one. Yeah.
About time they have something to celebrate. So.
Yeah. What do you think about the other teams now, since they're paying so much for their quarterbacks and now wide receivers getting a lot of money?
Yeah, it's nuts.
What are your thoughts on that? You're the sports guy more than me, so I want to get your side of it.
Yeah, it's like the fact that the contracts just went up so much for quarterbacks is definitely not something that I would have thought would have happened. But like now you get like average quarterbacks making 30-40 million a
year.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. He's not even average. He's below average. I would think, but
he's in Pittsburgh. Where is he now? Daniel Jones. Colts.
Colts. They
right?
signed him, but he's gonna be a backup, I think. Backup, or maybe if
they're gonna end up
Richardson.
drafting. Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then like wide receivers now they're getting a ton of money. I saw Barkley was the first running back to have a deal that's his average annual salary is now like over 20 million. So now running backs are starting to get more.
I mean, Barkley deserves it.
He deserves it. He's the MVP for the
He's
Eagles.
a monstrous year for the
Yeah.
Eagles. And when we got Barkley first, I feel like not only the Eagles fan but the whole NFL thought it's gonna be a bust because he's a great player, but he wasn't consistent.
No, yeah.
He was always injured in Giants, and that's how when he was moving to Philadelphia, I was like, maybe we're gonna get like 3 weeks out of him. He's gonna be out the rest of the season. But whoa, week after week.
Yeah, that was great to see because I know like other running back like McCaffrey, he was injured this year and he also gets injured a decent amount. And then Barkley was also injured all the time on the Giants, and then coming to the Eagles, getting that good offensive line, I think he really like showed what he had. So that was awesome.
Yeah. It's funny how it can change quickly. You know, I know Barkley is a hard worker, and he ended up switching the switch and.
Sometimes it's just like a change of scenery will make all the difference for a player. So
yeah, he was quiet on the final though. Everyone thought he's gonna dominate in the final, but it was other players.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs
showed up.
They made it like their focus to slow him down. So he was every time they're probably sending like stacking the box to stop him from breaking a big run. But I was glad that Jalen Hurts had his arm working that day.
What do you think about the tush push? Like. I want to get your side of the story. I mean,
I think it's like right now they're in talks to maybe even ban it.
I don't think they will. What do you think?
I mean, I hope they don't, but I don't. Yeah, I would think that they wouldn't either, but because it's not like any other team is doing it. It's just the Eagles. So if you ban it, it's like, oh, you can't stop the Eagles with this play.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like, you gotta figure out a way to stop.
Teams tried it from the regular season. From what I watched, they weren't successful as the Eagles were. But it's. I mean, it's silly to ban it. I feel like it is working for other teams. Why would you ban it? If you can do it, just do it. With other teams.
Figure out what the Eagles are doing and then try to do the same thing.
Yeah, and what was that? Was it Washington who kept jumping the line? Like, they were trying to do a tush push or whatever.
Yeah, that one guy just like kept jumping over the pile. And 3-4 penalties in a row.
Yeah, it was funny. It was just that game. They just got frustrated,
Yeah, I feel like that. The Commanders, they could have kept it close, but they kept fumbling the ball.
Yeah,
so that was their kryptonite. But
I think their new quarterback, he's gonna be a star. I forgot his name right now.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, that's right. Yeah, he's gonna be a star. He's gonna be a franchise quarterback. Hopefully, they give him tools to work on.
Yeah. I feel like
we'll
because when he was drafted, it was either him or Caleb Williams as the top two, and I think at least it's only been 1 year, but Jaden Daniels has shown a lot more.
Yeah.
Even with like less talent.
I see similarities to Jalen Hurts. Do you agree?
Yeah, with the legs, he's definitely like his frame is skinnier, but he has the speed that Jalen had. Probably, and then he's still super young, so he has time to bulk up and then put on some weight.
Yeah,
but that was good.
Right. Yeah, excited for the new season.
We lost some players, but I think we're still
not some. We lost the whole defensive line or whatever.
We did a lot, on the defensive side, we lost a lot, but
yeah. I mean,
it's expected.
Rosie Howman will find a way,
Expected. Like when you win a Super Bowl, like other teams want your players, so they're gonna pay more. So it's funny. But.
Yeah. Well, I think Eagles will be up there, top 4.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see.
Still, the Lions are the only Lions, and then maybe like the Packers are a little scary in the NFC, but I think the 49ers are.
They're building still.
Yeah, they're still. Yeah, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, you're right.
They took a step back last year.
Yeah, it's a big one. But I know they have a great coach. Same with Rams. They have a great coach.
Yeah, the Rams.
As long as they manage that cap space right. They'll get somewhere.
Yeah, and I feel like with any season, an injury or two can change the whole landscape. So just gotta hope your players stay healthy.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the trades. Like how in NBA, Luka Doncic, Doncic, I don't know how to say his name. He signed a contract. He was comfortable in Dallas, and he gets a call saying, "Hey, you're being traded to Lakers." And me being watching a lot of soccer, being a soccer fan, the transfers don't work like that, you know?
Yeah.
Players have a say. Let's say team comes up saying, we're going to end up selling you this transfer window. You're going to go to this team. And the player has have a say saying, no, I'm not going to go to that team, but you can sell me to this or other team. Or I'm going to honor my contract and stay on this team till my contract expires. He risks not playing. He doesn't care, you know. They have a say. Why is NBA / I guess NFL why is it different?
It's like at least for the NBA, at some point the players, once they've been in the league for either like 10 years or 5 years, but then they start having like a no trade clause, so they can kind of add teams that they wouldn't want to get traded to. But for most players, they don't really have a say. That's kind of and that's something that the NBA, they have a players union that kind of fights for the players' rights. So that's something that they're probably trying to work on, is give the players more of a say. Because I don't know if you saw, but like when Luka was, they just had that revenge game. They just played the Mavericks a couple days ago. They had like
the highlight video and all that.
Yeah, and he was like tearing up during it. So he definitely would have. I mean, he would have wanted to stay in Dallas.
Yeah,
he wasn't expecting it. Like, kind of rocked his whole world, I think.
Yeah. So they just have a no trade clause and pretty much, but don't have a security.
No. Yeah, it's only a small percentage of players that have that ability to say, "Oh, I'm not going to go there." Yeah. But for most players, they don't really have that right.
It's funny how some player, like some basketball players, I forgot his name. He got traded like 6 times in a single trade season.
Yeah, like Dennis Schroeder maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. He gets traded
like 4 or 5 times, right? Oh my god.
He's been probably like 10 different teams throughout his career at this point.
Yeah, but on a single transfer, whatever trade deadline, he got traded like 4 times, right? Was that it? On a single.
I feel like he might have got flipped a couple times. At least like maybe twice or 3 times.
Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4. Because usually it's like one team to another, but he went to another one and then like 2 more. So.
Yeah, I think like sometimes like players, like especially if they're veterans and they're getting traded to a bad team that's not going to make the playoffs, the team that gets that veteran, they're just going to like cut him or like look to move him to a different team. So I think you're right. Yeah, he got traded.
It's a trade like 3 game, or 4 times, so see what picks they get or whatever. Okay. Oh, wow. Hopefully, that would never happen in soccer. You know? Hopefully they end up kind of learning from what soccer is doing.
Yeah, like soccer, it's doing great. Yeah. What's your biggest soccer team that you're a fan of?
Since growing up, Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo was the big guy. Just watching that game, and then Manchester United is my main team. They're struggling now. So, I feel like almost 10 years or more they've been struggling. But I have a backup team, Real Madrid. They never stop winning. Real Madrid is my second team. But overall, I just follow big games, not only those 2 teams. You know.
Like I don't watch soccer that much, but I'll watch like during the World Cup or like any big event. Like the Euro Cup, I'll watch that.
Yeah, especially towards knockouts. It's going to be, you don't see 0-0 games. It's going to be, someone will knock someone out. Yeah, you're right. Overall, I think it's a world sport.
Yeah,
it's
biggest sport,
and it's cheaper to play worldwide. Like if you go to Africa, you just need a ball and you play bare feet, you know?
Yeah, it's not
in Africa, they don't have to gear up with like football, American football gear, get helmets on, all that stuff.
Yeah, they don't have baseball bats or stuff like that. So
I guess in a way, basketball is a cheaper one to play too. You just need a ball and a couple of guys to bounce around. But you need a net. Yeah, create a play, right? Proper basket. To shoot. But hopefully. Just from throughout the years, it's getting popular here in the United States. Soccer, MLS is getting more competitive, and overall, just the young generation has started following it. Yeah, and overall, USA team is getting better too.
That's good.
And now, since the World Cup is next year, it's
a good time.
A lot of people from other countries will come up. Hopefully. Hopefully there won't be any immigration issues, you know?
No, hope not. Like
They get
pothole.
they get visas, enjoy the festivities.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Let's jump into your time as a pharmacy technician slash our time. How was your experience in pharmacy, and how did that help you towards like now?
Yeah. So I think we both were kind of, I'm not sure if you might have left like just before COVID, or were you there during COVID too?
I left maybe a year after COVID,
Okay.
like 21, I think.
Yeah. So I started, well, I worked there for about like 4.5 years. I think it's, as a job itself, it's definitely an interesting one in that you're like always have like either you're dealing with problems from like customers or from like insurance a lot of the time. But I think that job did teach me a lot of just being patient, being patient with the customers, being patient with the insurance companies. Taught me like good work ethic. Because before that, I just had another job when I was in high school working as like a cashier / grocery clerk. So as a pharmacy tech, you have more responsibilities dealing with drugs. And then,
of course.
Yeah. I think when I first started the job, I was maybe contemplating if I wanted to pursue something similar, like a medical field in college. But then after that job, I was like, maybe I wanted something else that I'm not, really dealing with the public every day.
Interesting. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were thinking maybe switching to something medical field and on your college.
Both my sisters are in the medical field, so maybe I want to follow in their footsteps, but
okay.
I'm also like try not to. I mean, I kind of don't like dealing with people all day, customer wise, like retail, but
it's difficult. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's like draining too.
Yeah. I didn't know you were thinking of maybe switching your major to something medical. What do your sisters do? What field? And
oldest is a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So she got her RN, and then she went back to school for like a year and a half to get her nurse practitioner license. And then my middle sister, she's just became a dentist this past year. So
okay, congrats. It's not easy. Any medical field, doesn't matter what it is. It's not easy pursuing that. I tried it. It's and then kind of halfway through, I ended up knowing, it's not a field for me,
Yeah.
It's especially in Temple University, they really make it difficult for some classes to pass because they want to filter students.
Right.
And they're just so viciously giving you bad grades for silly stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like as we both worked at Wegmans, and I think that was a great company. Like everybody that we worked with was super friendly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It was a great company to work for. It was good. It's a good job for students. I wish the pay was a little better.
Yeah. I think it's getting better, and especially after COVID. At least it's not like where it should be, but at least it's
yeah,
more.
We just got paid based on the minimum wage, but right after COVID or during COVID, I think they increased it to like pretty much double.
Yeah.
And I was already away by then,
Yeah, you missed out. Yeah. Like we got like a few more raises during COVID. So and then I think they increased like the base minimum too.
Oh, overall in a store, they increased the minimum.
Yeah, and also maybe for pharmacy too, it was like a little bit different adjustment, but.
Yeah, we used to get minimum wage, and across the street, Chick-fil-A, young kids getting double what I was making, and I was the one who like working with drugs, being more careful, more responsibility,
it's more stressful.
And across the street, a couple of high schoolers making more money than me, just bagging up stuff, giving it to customers, and I mean they're dealing with customers also. I wish the pay was better. And it makes me wonder, let's say if the pay was really good, would I be still doing it? Would you be still doing it? Like it was really good,
Like it was really good.
Not like a pharmacist wage, but a couple thousand lower than that.
Yeah. I mean, if that was the case, I probably wouldn't. Maybe like on the side, like a part-time gig.
Yeah.
On the weekends, maybe pick up some hours, but I don't think I wanted to be in that field like 40 hours a week.
Right.
every day.
It's difficult. Yeah. It's not easy. I feel bad for the pharmacists. But I think Wegmans has a nice structure that there are times where two pharmacists overlap. They
Yeah.
help each other.
Definitely.
So they get the other one can get a break.
Yeah, it's not like some other chains where
Yeah.
like they're understaffed and much busier.
Yeah, and surprisingly, now, like Walgreens, they cut down on our hours and they close during lunch hour.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, they're closed. I think from like half an hour from whatever in the middle of the day, and they just like shut down the gates,
Yeah.
and the whole staff eats. And their hours used to be 9 to 9 or something like that, but now it's like 9 to 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so but one pharmacist throughout that whole day.
That was also something like at Wegmans. I was like, because I think during the week we closed at like 9 o'clock. I feel like if we closed at like 7 or 8, it would be better. Like I'm not you in that 8 to 9 window, we would barely get customers. So
Yeah, 8 to 9. It was barely any footsteps. But
Yeah.
that was we that time it wasn't we were just slacking. We had some catching up to do,
Yeah,
typing up few scripts from the day,
Yeah.
ordering few things. It helped to.
yeah, it was a little nice break that hour, just cleaning up, like wiping the counters and stuff, and taking the trash out.
Yeah, you're right.
Also good.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a quick break. We're gonna come back and talk about your current position as an analyst in Uline.
Okay.
All right. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sounds good.
Thank you. Raj, fast forward to now. I want to talk about your current role as an analyst in Uline.
Right.
Can you give a brief description of what you do and what
Yep.
the company is?
So Uline is one of like the leading distributors of like shipping supplies, warehouse supplies. Like we sell a lot of boxes, packaging materials, like we're pallet racking, like shelving, a lot of stuff. Like our catalog has over 40,000 items, so we have a ton of stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but my role as a operations analyst, so it's kind of I team with the sales team, the warehouse team, and the customer service teams to kind of, if they identify like an issue, they'll come to me. I'll pull the data. Like if you have a customer that his sales might be declining, looking to see like what they stopped buying, what they were buying before, and then any like reports. Excel, I use a lot of Excel to make reports. And now like Power BI, are you familiar with Power BI?
Yeah.
so-
It's getting more popular now.
It's basically like a Excel, but you can do a lot more with it. So in like the first year and a half I started, mostly everything I did was in Excel, and now it's mostly Power BI, but I like it. I think you can do a lot more visuals in Power BI, and it kind of helps the end user have a more positive experience by seeing like a nice dashboard and then being able to manipulate with filters and everything.
So was Power BI your suggestion or something your company ended up okaying to switch?
Company.
Okay.
From the top down, they kind of wanted something a little bit better, a little bit, because our company is more old school, I would say, and like they kind of like to stick with the things that have been working, which is fine. But like with technology advancing so much, it makes sense to kind of take step forwards in that direction.
Give something else a shot, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Oh, interesting how you guys approach. I had an idea of what Uline is, but so you gave me another point of view of what they do. Is there only one location in Allentown, or is there more like branch wise?
It's the United North America. They have 2 locations in Canada and like 2 locations in Mexico. Okay. So in the United States, there's 10 branches, all from like stretching from California to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And then
similar size of where you work now?
For the most part, there's a few smaller branches. In like Florida is a smaller branch. Like Washington State is a smaller branch.
Okay.
But then there's also like we're expanding a bit. So next year we're opening a branch in Ohio, and then a couple years down open another branch in Connecticut. So it's great to see like they're expanding. Okay. So it means we're doing well, and then we're looking to continue growing in the future.
Of course, yeah. I mean, shipping supplies is going to be a need in the future.
Definitely,
and I don't think it's going to be any problem, downsizing that part of the business. Interesting. And you said you do like analytical work towards sales, how they're doing. Is this something you went to school for? I think you were a little bit different approach
Yeah.
on your major, right?
Yeah. So when I started at Temple, it was computer science, and
Yeah.
then about halfway through, I switched to data science, just because like with computer science, it's really like coding intensive. Like you're learning 4 or 5 different languages. You're doing like big projects with them, and then I just didn't really enjoy. I
Yeah.
just felt like it was a lot. Like I wanted something a little bit easier. Like I knew I liked numbers and working with data, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to deal with like coding all these.
Yeah.
Like learning all the different formats each language has. So
It didn't interest you that much.
no.
Yeah.
And then like
Okay.
so and then I was kind of looking into data science because that was something that like Temple was kind of like a newer program for them, a newer major. So then me and my one friend, we switched to data science, and it worked out well. I mean, and then in my role right now at Uline, it's like I learned a lot more in college than I'm using on my job. But one class that I did learn is like SQL,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
SQL, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's something that I use every day at work.
Oh, okay. Use that. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm glad that some of the parts that you went to school for helped you out. I mean, our goal is we're spending a lot of money in school, so
Yeah.
in a way we want that to be beneficial for us in our careers and overall in knowledge.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you found a path that you like right now, and you're
Yeah.
continuing.
Thank you.
Do you think, I mean, we talked about it briefly, do you think there's a room to grow, like in your profession in that company?
Oh yeah, I feel like it with them. If you like been there a good amount of time, like they're always looking to promote instead of like hire externally.
Okay.
So there's definitely room to grow, and then like personally, and then as a whole company wide, they're continually looking for ways to kind of take steps forward and then try to, do better than our competitors in a lot of aspects. So definitely think it's a really positive outlook for the company.
What are the competitors, if you don't mind mentioning?
So it's Granger, if you heard of them. They do like on the radio a little bit. They kind of sell a lot of the same stuff we do.
Okay. They're not, I don't think they're that big, right? Or are they big?
They're big, but it's like parts of America they're bigger. So I think in
okay.
this area they're not as big in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But in Pennsylvania there's another competitor like Global Industry.
I think I've heard of them, yeah.
So that's another one, and then you have like the big chains like Home Depot and even like Amazon for some items. They're considered a competitor. But
Oh, because they have a store already that you can go and buy. Okay.
yeah, and then like Staples too because they sell boxes.
Yeah.
So
How are you guys like selling your item? Is it through like some big companies? You guys ship them items because
Yeah.
Uline don't have a store, right?
no, if the customer wants to pick up at the warehouse, we do have like customer pickup, but
Okay.
there's no storefronts, so customers would place orders online,
Yeah.
and then or they can call in and place orders, but then we ship it to them, and we ship it to individuals too, not just businesses. So we serve.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so-
So if they place an order, like for example, I place an order for a few boxes, I'm moving out of the house, or
Yeah.
so you guys have a service for that you can ship.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
for parcel, it just goes through UPS, so you get it at your doorstep the next day.
Okay, all right, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And because your field, I'm not super familiar with like how the company works. You gave me a great example of what you guys do and that side of the business, because it must be difficult. I'm just trying to visualize it from a business owner, like the business owner of the. Oh, by the way, is the Uline family owned or is it
Family owned.
corporate? Okay.
Yeah. They started in 1980, so it's family owned for last
1980.
like 45 years.
Oh, okay, impressive. It's not easy running a business,
No, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to visualize. Uline don't have a store like Home Depot. It must be difficult to run a business. But they, like you said, they're opening branches. They're expanding. So I mean, hopefully they're doing good.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like nowadays consumers are super concerned with like shipping costs a lot. So opening more branches kind of reduces shipping costs in those areas. So customers will get products cheaper too.
Yeah.
So that's another step that they're taking.
Is your parents business owners or
They were. So
Okay.
growing up, they had a 7-Eleven that they ran for like 15 years.
okay?
And now they're
Yeah.
just working as like a regular job. And then hopefully in a few years, they're
Yeah.
at that point to retire.
Okay.
But-
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, usually with immigrant parents, like let's say if they have a business, they try to pull their kids towards that business.
Yeah.
So they continue on or expand from that business. But
I was actually, my parents were asking us if anybody wanted to continue just keeping the store, like the 7-Eleven, but we're like, nah. Don't want to work in retail my whole life. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So when did they finish
Selling it?
Yeah, like
It
close the
is-
shop down.
Like right when I graduated high school, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's not that
Been
long ago.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's not easy running
And
a
then,
business,
like,
especially a retail store.
No. And then as kids, like my sisters and I, we'd go help out, like stock shelves or go in the cooler and then like stock the cooler with drinks and everything. So that kind of was like our first job, I would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a family business. You help out as much as you can.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, hopefully your career growth with the current company, hopefully the company grows. And if you had, like, with the current knowledge that you have in professional life,
Yeah.
if you had to, like, start all over again, like, let's say you go back in time, would you have chosen a similar major field slash work environment?
It's a good question. I would say that at least my major wise, I would probably keep it similar. I think maybe instead of going, you went to Temple too, right?
Yeah, for my undergrad, yeah.
And then what was your experience? You thought it was a good?
My time at Temple I didn't like because I don't really like the school and also the city life.
Yeah.
And not switching, and then after graduating my undergrads and then going into my master's at Westchester. Westchester was completely different. It's different environment,
Yeah.
different school system
Quieter.
overall. Yeah, it's also the classes. It was you were more connected to teachers, In Temple, maybe the major I was on, it was just 400 students in a big lecture learning biology. It wasn't fun.
That's not good for learning.
Yeah.
I kind of had a similar experience. Like some classes, they would be huge like that at Temple, but I think if I had to go back, maybe find a school that's like more not like directly in the city, or maybe find a school that's maybe a little bit further out. Because I was commuting back and forth on the train.
Yeah,
maybe,
same.
Yeah. I think maybe
not fun.
No. Like ideally, it would be nice just maybe for a semester or two, just to kind of see if you'd like just living on campus for a little bit.
It is expensive, but
but
just to give it a shot. Yeah.
Because I know I didn't get that experience. I think it's something maybe looking back, it'd be nice to have that for at least a little bit. See if I would have liked to have that for see what that's like.
But you said not in Temple though, right?
No,
somewhere
not
in
Temple, yeah.
suburban schools.
At Temple, I was glad I was coming home after class. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't want to stay there. Like, no, yeah.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of scary texts, shooting
like
reported in this street. I still used to get it, and I ended up unsubscribing it because I'm not there anymore, Yeah, but it's not a safe place to be. But hopefully it improves. Nothing. I don't want to say anything bad about Temple.
No,
I'm thankful. I got a degree out of that. But
Uh-huh.
I think the only thing is they make it really difficult, on certain degree paths, But
keep in mind, like my major was kind of difficult too at the do a big capstone at the end, and I think it's
also
stressful.
I'm pretty sure you took calculus at Temple. They make calculus classes so tough.
Yeah.
Even though like I'm from what I think I'm good at math, but they make it super tough.
Yeah, the tests are like the worst.
Yeah, you only have 2 tests, and if you fail one of them, you're
it's
done.
like a midterm and final, and then it's,
not even fail. Like if you get a C or something, that's gonna ruin your semester.
Like one of those tests is like 30-40% of your grades. So it's like I didn't like that structure, but
hopefully they end up improving it. They just want to filter students, but sometimes filtering is too much. Could be reasonable with students.
Like nowadays, like colleges, some of them don't even require like testing and standardized tests. You just have to like write essays now. So seems
to get into college, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could.
I didn't know that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm done with that part of the part of my life, so I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something interesting. 'Cause, I mean, people learn in different ways, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like some people are just not good test takers, but doesn't mean they wouldn't learn in like a classroom setting. So,
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
I mean,
interesting.
another thing is college/universities. It's a business, you know. They want to attract
make
more
money.
students and
Yeah.
make money, even though if they end up like, same with Temple, like they get a couple semesters out of all students and they end up failing them.
Yeah.
Then they switch their major from medical to something else. But
Yeah.
those 2 semesters are
Still,
money.
yeah, it's like 4-year major or like 4-year plan turns into like a 6-year plan,
6 year,
and you still get.
Yeah, they don't care.
And then like once you're out after a few years, you get like the letters to donate.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
of course. Yeah. You just
It's
rip
funny.
that right away.
Right, throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but yeah, like I said, I don't have like super bad things. Just few cons that I want to mention. But yeah, but my advice, like if someone was thinking to go to Temple, I would say why first. I mean, if that certain field that you're choosing requires that's you know, Temple has the best place for that. Yes, but if you have chance to go to other schools, check them out. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like jobs, I just wanted to ask you on what you're doing now that you're a dad, you have 2 little kids. What's your day-to-day look like in terms of work? And then
my day-to-day, I do data analysis. We're what's so called, our company is a CRO, contract research organization. We do contracts with a bunch of pharmaceutical companies, and we analyze their data. We have a division that writes analytical papers / articles and sends it back. We have a couple steps of that, you know.
Yeah.
But my job is to do just statistics.
That's cool.
They analyze the data that we get, make few tables, figures and stuff like that. And
Nice.
yeah, it goes after my part. It gets validated and all that, and it goes to the factory or pharmaceutical company. They look at it again, and then they, with all the other stuff, data and writing, they send it to FDA for FDA to check it out and give approval for that drug.
That's cool.
Or whatever device, medical device.
That's nice. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
interesting. And my day-to-day is, since COVID, our company is all remote, and they give us device, laptop, monitor to work from home.
That's
yeah,
good.
I have a small office at home. Kids upstairs playing around. They don't know I'm at home. If they know, they will be all over the room, you know.
You guys got to close that door in your office.
Yeah. They think that I'm away outside at work, but yeah, that's my day-to-day.
Nice.
Work from home. In the beginning, it was a little strange, but towards end of my master's degree, it was all remote, you know. So I kind of got used to doing everything remote, and then transitioning to work remote. It's been okay so far.
good, yeah.
You save on car
save
payments,
time,
gas, and all that stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting ready in the morning.
Yeah. You wake up like 15 minutes early before your shift, and then
that's something I like wish like hybrid, at least hybrid would be
at least
nice.
hybrid, right? Yeah, I don't mind coming to office like once in a while, maybe once a week. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's good to also just get out of the house a little bit for work.
Yeah, but our team, and I think overall in other companies, people don't slack when they're working at home. You still have to get that project done. There's a deadline and all that. Yeah, it's been okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, been okay to balancing work life. My suggestion is for people who work from home, remote, try to make the work-life balance, because since you're working from home, you have a flexibility of waking up in middle of the night and doing your project, but try to have that balance so you have a family time.
Yeah.
You get proper like 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true.
Yeah, there's some people wake up at 5 a.m. and they start working on stuff. But whatever works for you.
Yeah. Whenever you're most productive.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, or a question on, or anything?
No, I think that was kind of covered a lot. That was great conversations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I was able to stretch my knowledge.
Me too, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you,
It's
Raj.
a great podcast.
We'll do it again.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.